This meeting is being recorded.
Look what I've got.
What have you got, Carolyn?
That looks, I gotta back up. I don't know how to get it on there. It's your baby sweater.
Oh my goodness. You
Well
have
done.
completed the whole thing.
I did the whole thing. I put it in my gift box for the next time I need a baby gift. But anyway, it came out. Well, I'm surprised at one thing. The body width seems like it's a whole lot wider than the shoulder width. But then I looked at the schematic and it's the same. So it just looks awfully wide. I don't know. I can't get far enough away to show you the whole thing.
It does look kind of wide, but I don't know.
Mine turned out shaped like that too.
Did it? Well, like I say, when I look at this schematic, doesn't look that way, but the measurements add up to, you know.
Does it measure to what the measurements say it should be?
It's a little bit smaller than what the measurements say.
So it's even wider, huh?
Yeah, but it looks like it's too wide. Yeah. Well,
Hi,
I mean, the
Deidre.
shoulders. Hi there.
Hi, Donna. Hi, Vicky. Vicky's not connected to audio yet. Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Phrancko.
Hi, Frank.
Who said
Sorry,
hi?
Frank.
Who said
Donna.
hi?
Donna.
Donna. Hi, Donna. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Frank. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Okay, I must not be muted, huh?
You're not muted, but you are invisible.
Okay. Did that do it? Nope.
No.
Start video. That's the key.
Did that do it?
No.
Okay. That did it.
Yes, that did it. There you go.
Hit the right button finally. How are you? I saw you earlier.
Oh, yeah? With Suzanne. Yeah.
And I was amazed about the laid back, quote unquote, discussion.
Why? Because you know that I'm not laid back? Is that why you were
Well,
amazed?
no. I've always figured you were very laid back.
Is that right? I don't know how I come across that way.
No.
I've never been accused of being laid back. In fact, I've often been told, Frank, you need to be more laid back. Since I was 20 years old, I've heard that.
Okay. Well, maybe it's retirement.
Yeah, it's knitting. See,
Okay.
it's knitting that has calmed me down in my retirement years.
Okay. Good.
So Frank, Sidra, I was trying to go into the pattern that I'd set up for last week for my daughter and went to go check out the schematic this time. And it comes up constantly saying server error, then parentheses 500. No matter what I do.
That's really not good. That means the program has a bug. So let me see. How far have you gotten?
The only thing I put in all of her measurements, the yarn. Last week I had, it told me how much yarn I needed and everything.
Yeah.
And then I went to go check it out because I was debating whether to do a 4 inches or a 2 inches for my daughter because she's a little bit on the larger busted side and take care of it that way.
Uh-huh.
And I can't bring up the schematic.
Wait, let me see. Can you tell me, what can you tell me how I can find your sweater in the database?
Okay, so my username is Sidra G.
Okay, hold on just a minute.
My name is like
Okay. see that you have,
There's 3 there.
Three
So it should be
sweaters.
the Henley for Jamie.
Jamie. Yes, I see Jamie.
Want me to get it?
Yeah, please.
Hi. Oh, mute yourself. She can hear us.
Yes, we hear someone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Right.
Hmm.
This meeting is being recorded.
Oh dear.
Wow, what was that?
.601. Let me try that. Oh, the one I got is a V-neck sweater for Jamie. That's not the one you meant.
No, there should be a Henley. Is there a way of deleting something on there?
Well, I just got your server error. So
I mean, I could delete all that stuff out if there's a way of deleting
that
everything.
you can't, because you're
Oh.
just going to get a server error every time you try to access that sweater. You know, this is going to take some investigating on my part.
Okay.
And I don't think we want to spend time letting everybody watch me debug the program. So I'll have to do that after. Would you send me an email so I have your email address?
Yes. Yes.
My email is frank@phrancko.com.
Okay.
You know.
And to get the larger bust size for her, because her upper bust is 39, but her across the bust is 41.5, and with the 2-inch ease, it comes out to like 43.5, and that doesn't fit in the schematic for that.
What? What?
If you do, okay, so to get the, like with the 2-inch ease
Yes.
for the, going across the bust, it would be 41.5, because up above she's 39. Do I need to worry about that not fitting her with the 2-inch ease, or?
Were you in Suzanne's?
Yeah. Do I
towel?
need to do a short rose? Because it's actually going to be a cardigan.
She talked about how to decide if you need that. And
Okay.
If it's 2 inches or less difference, you don't need to worry about it because it'll stretch enough.
Right.
So you don't need to worry about that 2 inches. You're good.
if
So
you
just
put
keep
in
it at the 2-inch
if you
ease.
put in 2
Yeah.
inches of ease and her upper chest is 39, it's going to be 41 inches around. And what did you say her bust measurement is?
Her bust measurement is actually 41.5. So,
It'll be a little tight, but it will stretch. You could also change your upper chest measurement by just increasing it a ½ inch, and that will give another ½ inch there. But have you bought the pattern already?
no, that's what I was going to do.
Oh, is that the one that is now causing the error?
Yes.
Oh,
So would I then do a 4-inch ease to get it to be the
no, I would just leave a 2-inch ease, but I would change her chest circumference.
Okay.
I would just increase that a ½ inch. That's not going to make a big difference in the rest of the sweater.
Okay.
And
right.
give her let's see, 39 and a half plus 2 is 41 and a half. So it'll be tight, but not form-fitting across the bust.
Well, yeah, and it's going to be a cardigan, so it probably will never get buttoned up anyhow.
A cardigan, it won't matter at all, right?
Yeah, okay, sounds good. Okay, thanks.
Okay, sure. Any other questions?
Is she going to steek to make the cardigan?
No, I'm going to do the Henley and just keep on going down with the tab.
Oh,
It seems
you
easier
won't be
that
doing
way.
it in the round very much.
No, that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. It'll still be custom fit. It just
Yes.
won't be knitted in the round. So it's
Right.
got, and it will have the set-in sleeves. So it's got almost all of the advantages of a Phrancko sweater. It just doesn't have the knitting in the round part.
Right,
It'll still be seamless also.
that's good.
Has anybody else made progress on a Phrancko sweater? Hi, Karen.
Frank, is
Hi,
Cindy
Cynthia.
on today?
Is what?
Cindy on.
No,
Cindy,
I don't see Cindy today.
I know they've had horrible weather up her way.
Yes, she told me one time this week that she was having to hang out in her basement because
Right.
it was so hot. That was the only cool place to go.
Oh, hi, Frank and everybody. This is Karen.
Hi, Karen.
I decided to make a baby sweater using your method, and I don't have it's my nephew's cousin's measurements. I don't have his measurements, and I want it to be a surprise. And
Oh,
and also it's going to be for when he's 2 and he's only 9 months right now.
okay.
I'm not sure how. I was looking up size charts for toddlers, and I was just going to go that way
That's what I would do.
because he's pretty average.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would just find a chart. Do you have a book that's just got charts for every size?
No, I was looking online and not having
Oh.
much luck. They give a lot of, they don't give neck circumferences so much.
They never give neck circumferences. I do that because it's easier to have somebody measure their neck circumference and
Okay.
convert it. But they'll give a neck width, and you can find out the right neck circumference by just trial and error. That's one way to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll play
Yeah.
around.
I would just put in a circumference that you think is close to what it might be,
Mhm.
and see how wide it is, and then go back and change it, and then until, make it wider or narrower. You just
Okay.
have to do it by trial and error until you get the right neck width.
Thank you.
Sure. I
Wish I
have,
knew what size the
couple of-
baby sweater is that I just created. I think maybe it's 12 months. But you didn't give any indication as to what size that sample sweater would turn
no,
out to
I
be.
didn't. I really didn't intend people to knit that sweater for an actual baby.
Why not?
It used to be made up measurements, and then I realized when Ron started his knit along and everybody's going to knit it, it better fit at least some standard baby. So I went back and changed all the measurements to be constrained to some, some baby size. I don't even remember what it was, unfortunately.
I vaguely remember you saying it was a 2T.
I was thinking that, but I was
Oh.
afraid to say it again because I'm not sure I'm right. My
Mine
memory is
doesn't
such.
seem to be that big, I don't think.
But then it would vary, with how much, the weight of your yarn and how big your needles are. And
Yeah,
and how tight, and how tight you knit, because we don't really do a gauge swatch.
but
before
I
we
was
do
comparing my
anything.
measurements of the finished sweater with the schematic, and it's pretty much the same.
Oh,
Well, yeah, the pattern is, the pattern has a gauge in it.
Yes,
If
and
you want to make
I
it
met
that
that
size,
gauge.
if you really want to make that size, then you have to match the gauge, just like you do in any standard pattern you're trying to create.
Yeah, that's what I did. But I still don't know what size it is now that it's done. I guess I have to find some chart too and see,
Yeah.
unless you can add that to the sweater. This sample sweater makes a size, whatever.
Oh, hold on. I'll be right back with my charts and see what I can find out.
It was a lot of fun making that sweater.
yeah, I had a lot of fun with mine too.
A lot of, different techniques than we're used to. And especially like seeing that bell curve appear at the bottom of the arm's eye.
How did you get a hold of that? Maybe I can use that as a template.
Well, the sample pattern is on Frank's site. You can
Oh,
find
okay.
it there. Yeah. And there's no charge for that one.
Mhm.
And he just calls it a happy baby crew neck, I think is what it's called. Happy baby crew neck.
Okay. Thank you.
I made it with size 3 yarn, but it's turned out to be a lot heavier than I thought. And here in Florida, you don't have much use for sweaters anyway, but maybe this will go to some baby up north. I don't know.
Same with California in the Central Valley.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty warm.
Yeah, cardigans are good because that's like a light jacket, but pullovers are not used
Some
very
people
much.
put the air conditioner so low that might as well just put the baby in a jacket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
I know when I go to the movies here, I usually take a sweater or something to put on, because
Yeah.
otherwise I'd be just too cold.
Yeah. And
My
some
daughter's always
restaurants,
better to restaurants. Can't
Yeah.
eat in a restaurant without it.
you never know. Some restaurants are comfortable and some are way too cold.
Well, my goal is to have my sweater with the sleeves divided off by Wednesday. So then I'm just knitting for a while.
The boring part.
Yeah, but I'll be on an airplane, so
Oh, it'll be good then.
Are you making it all plain stockinette?
it's all going to be plain stockinette until the ribbing down at the bottom is going to be the 2x2 seed stitch,
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
around the neck will be the seed stitch.
Cool.
So yeah, all the rest is just plain old stockinette. I'm just trying to get my first sweater done.
Yeah.
My first sweater for me.
Frank, what's your password to get into Zoom?
I don't know.
Because Pam's trying to get in and she doesn't know the password.
It wants a
I
password.
didn't- I
If
had
she-
to go to your website and
If she
click on
goes,
the.
yeah, if she just types in the link, you don't need a password.
I didn't need a.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Yeah, I went to Phrancko.com, clicked on help, and it was right there at the top.
Oh, that's where
Okay.
you found it. I was looking for it all over that website.
Really? Oh, it's also
went-
on your sweaters page. You
I was
just
gonna
log into the
say, yeah.
website.
I don't have that I finally went back to Suzanne's YouTube channel and scrolled down on one of your joint presentations, and I found you there. So it was a roundabout process.
It's
Yeah,
also
I
on the
posted
forum.
all over the place and people keep telling me they can't find it. The website, if you log into the website, the very first page you come to is the sweaters page.
Yeah.
And it is at the top of the page. It says, come join our Zoom weekly meeting. And there's a link, and it's linked and you just click it.
I wonder if it's different on an iPhone because I didn't see that.
Is that right? Shouldn't be.
I'll check it out again.
Well, I went to the Zoom page
Uh-huh.
and just typed in like the number 8, which brought up on my Zoom record, where all of the places I've been on Zoom. And you're there, and I click on it, and I click to join. And then when I put in it asks for the password, and I put in my name, and it won't take me there.
No, it's not your password. Let's see, there is a password. It's sweater, lowercase sweater. If you ever need the password, it's sweater.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
you.
That is
But if you
like-
use the link, you don't ever get asked for the password.
Yeah, you just jump into the
Yeah,
meeting.
but that only works once, then like
What do
she
you mean
was
once?
saying,
It
it
works-
saves it on that list, but then you can't use it because you don't know the password.
Oh, you mean there's a list in Zoom?
Yes,
Yeah, where it'll show you all the meetings that you've joined in the past.
Oh,
yeah,
I,
but that's when it
never
asks for the
used that.
password.
I see. Well, the password is sweater.
Thank
If
you.
that- You can remember that.
Okay.
And I am really having trouble finding a size that fits these measurements. 6, 7. Oh, wait.
Oh, so good.
I don't know where I got these measurements.
Hi, Pam.
Hi. Sorry I'm late.
Hi. It's closest to a child. We're talking about the baby sweater that is a sample baby sweater. And what size is it? And I believe it is closest to a child size of 2. And that would be, according to the book I'm using is this one. Let me pin me so I can.
That's Sweater 101.
Yes, Sweater 101. And it has all these charts of various sizes and styles. And so here is the child size 2 in a set-in sleeve. So, and I thought that was where I got it from, but the measurements are not exact. It's 11.5 inches across, whereas the baby pattern is 12. So it'd be another inch in circumference. And the height of it is 12 in the book. And it is 12.5 in the pattern. So it's really close, but it's not identical, but it's close.
Well, and not all babies are at that age are that size either. So
They vary a lot. They really do.
yeah.
And then, where did the other book go? I had another book. How can I lose a book just sitting here?
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I put it on the floor because I couldn't hold anymore. Okay. The other book I have used is actually one of two Ann Budd books because they also have size patterns in them. And granted, I don't do this very often because usually we're working with custom sizes that you put in your own measurements. But when I've had to come up with standard sizes, like when I'm going to publish a sweater, I use the standard sizes that are published by someone else because I don't know what they should be. So Ann Budd's book says that for a sweater that is, she has one that's 11.5 inches wide. I mean, 11 inches wide, not 11.5. And the length is 7.75 plus 5.5. That would be 12, 13.5. 13.5 instead of,
That's longer and skinnier than yours.
yes. So, and Ann Budd doesn't even agree with herself from the first book she put out to the second. The sizes changed.
You didn't say what she said that size was.
She doesn't label the size by year. She calls it a 26-inch child sweater, 26 inches circumference. How can that?
26. I thought you said it was 11.5 wide.
Child size 26. So why is it? Oh,
You said 11.5 wide.
I did, and I don't.
That can't be 26. That would be
understand
23.
the picture. She says, okay, it's confusing in the book. The circumference is 26 on the sweater I just told you. I don't know why the schematic shows. Oh, I'm sorry. That's centimeters. It was 11 centimeters across half of the front. She's doing a cardigan. Anyway, so it's what's 4.5 times 4? No, that's not right either. It's 26. I don't really know what that measurement is that she's, it's a very confusing schematic in her book, I have to say. Anyway, it's close to a child size 2, according to Sweaters 101 by Cheryl Brunette. I always think it's kind of strange that they label children's sizes by how old the child is, because children grow at different rates.
They certainly do.
So,
Somebody,
and especially when you're knitting for a child, you can't just take measurements of the child because by the time you have finished knitting it, they're bigger.
Right.
So you have to knit a bigger sweater and hope they grow into it at some point. That's the best you can do.
can I ask people to mute themselves when they're not talking? I'm getting a lot of buzz and.
Yes, I tell you what, I'm going to mute everyone. Now, if you want to talk, you'll have to unmute yourself because I just muted everyone. Got really quiet, didn't it?
Okay, I have a question. So I'm going through, this is Karen.
Uh-huh.
I'm going through what it forms to fill out, and it says cuff length, and then it says ribbing length. What is the difference there?
Cuff length is here on the sleeve,
Mhm.
the ribbing here, and the ribbing length is the ribbing at the bottom of the sweater.
Okay.
How much do you want there?
Okay.
And it's usually the same, but I give you the option of doing them differently.
And what is the hem? Where is that?
That's a very confusing measurement. I'm going to change this. I've been working with someone to figure out what is the most confusing parts of the website, and I'm going to be revising a lot of the interface. If you add the hem length to the shoulder to waist measurement that you put in for that person, and that will give you the total length of the sweater from the shoulder to the very bottom, including the ribbing. So it's just a partial measurement of the length, and it's added to the length from the shoulder to the waist. Everyone gets confused about that, so I'm going to change it and just have you enter the length of the sweater that you want to knit. That's what I'm trying to generate anyway. So most people know that, and they can, I know that I want them to be 27 inches long, so I could just enter 27 and not worry about what I entered on the page before that I'm no longer seeing.
So Frank, I just entered on the chat a link to the standard sizes for children from the Craft Council. So this would be the standards that the industry goes by.
Yes. And I also have used that chart. However, it doesn't include some things that I need. So I couldn't base everything on it.
But at least you'll have a better idea of what size you're talking about, something more standardized.
So it says the 24-month, that would be the 2-year, would be 20 inches chest. And the baby sweater is 24 inches circumference. So
that's a lot of
sweater is wider.
Sorry about that.
It says the arm length is 8.5, and the baby sweater pattern is 8.5. Upper arm circumference, it puts it 7.5, and the sample baby pattern has it at 10. That's a huge difference. As you see, yes, that's the standard, but not everybody uses it.
That would not be for what I understand, because I haven't read the page in a while. I thought that was the size of the body, not the size of the garment.
Oh, I don't know which it is. That's a good point. I do not know which this is. It says baby size chart. I don't know. I see no explanation as to whether it's the size of the sweater or the size of the child.
There were explanations on the previous page, so you might want to just go one directory up.
Well, I went directly to that link, so I guess I.
Yeah, that's my fault. I just wanted to make it easy for people to find it.
Well, it was very easy to find. It's just I don't know what we found. Let's see. Here it is, standards. Well, that's sizing. These are the actual body measurements for babies, children, women, and men. Aha. So the body size is a 24-inch chest, and it would make sense that the,
I thought you said 20.
I mean, it's a 24-month baby is a 20-inch chest. And so the one we have is 23, so that'd be 3 inches of ease for the baby. Is that right? Is it 23? No, it's 24. So it's 4 inches of ease for the baby. The arm circumference, upper arm circumference is 7.5, and the pattern does a 10, so that's 2.5 inches of ease on the arm. It's a reasonable size, I think. Well, I finished my my sweater that's going to be published. I have one picture of it before I send it off to the editor, Arinda Holiday, to photograph it and then publish the pattern. But I can show you all the picture.
Please do.
Can you see that?
Wow,
looks
that's beautiful.
great.
Yeah, very nice.
Very, lo-
Color.
And
very
blocking
lovely.
is magical. What a difference from when you held it up while you were working on it still.
I know it's really hard to see what it looks like just holding it up.
That's
That's
a
fantastic.
very
I'm
unique.
very pleased with how it turned out.
Looking forward to reading that one.
Can you zoom in on the cable a little bit?
Let me see. Does that zoom?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Wow.
Piece of cake, huh?
Yeah.
Frank, what is the approximate distance from the underarm area down to where the two cable sections come together, that triangle? I'm wondering where that would fall on a chest area. How far below? Just approximately.
I don't actually know where you mean.
Yes, in that area there.
Right here. You can see my cursor
Mm-hmm.
right there.
Yes.
Well, it looks like it's about 2 inches below the armpit
Okay.
up there.
That would be awkward for a woman.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I
sorry
was
to hear
thinking,
that.
because from the neckline down, it looks like it might be in that area that you
Yeah.
won't.
I didn't really think of that. I could have put a third triangle in there and gone and filled it more, but I decided not to do that. Partly because I liked the stockinette area triangle in the middle. I mean,
Mhm.
between the two long cables, but it was actually a convenience thing. I got tired of all the cabling, so I just didn't do a third one. But you see, it's two triangles that are, one is inside the other. I don't know if you can tell. The top up here is repeated here.
Yes. I'm wondering if you just maybe do, if you needed to, if you found that measurement place to be a little tricky, just even just a few, like 5 rows difference, maybe you would drop it or
You can
raise it
start it
depending on where
anywhere
you
you like.
start.
Yeah, this,
Mhm.
you know, I think I shared with some of you last week. The pattern will be published in Cast On magazine, And if you get that, you'll have the cable chart, and you can put this cable chart on your own sweater for a custom fit sweater, and it will just work. And you could place it wherever you like. You could start it lower, or you could add a third triangle down here in this area. You would have to just start the chart again at this point.
It's wonderful.
And so that would probably mean that you just got a little stockinette area down here, something like that.
Frank,
Yes,
this is Rana.
I'm gonna stop sharing now.
Your
Rana.
stockinette stitch is 1 gauge. And then your cables are entirely something different and on an angle. So how did you figure that?
I measured the width of the, well, I'll share it again and tell you what I did. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. I did a swatch of the entire top till I finished the second triangle down to here. You can see my cursor, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
When I say
yes, we
down to
can.
here, you can tell where I'm talking about.
Yes,
So
you
I-
see the little
When I
hand.
swatched that much, I measured from this side to this side and figured out the number of stockinette stitches that would represent. And then I counted the actual number of stitches across those cables and found out there was a difference of 10 stitches. So this pulled it in the width of 10 stockinette. I'm sorry, was it? Each triangle pulled it in a distance of 10 stockinette stitches.
Stitches.
I believe it was. And so by the time you get down here, you have to have increased 20 stockinette stitches. And those are almost all done on the outside of the cable, on the 2 sides, and the pattern tells you where to put them. There are two increases that occur inside the cable. And so you get the proper number of increases. And once you've got the number of increases here, the amount of cabling doesn't change as you proceed on down the sweater. So you don't need more increases.
Okay. Wow. I'm impressed.
Well, thank you. Arinda got the sweater today and she wrote me and said, it's wonderful. And so if I get just a single word remark from Arinda like that, I'm just very pleased. I don't know if you all know, Arinda is the president of the Knitting Guild Association. She's also the editor of Cast On magazine. And she basically runs the whole master's program, and I mean, with a lot of help from a lot of other people, but she's the ultimate say-so on everything.
So what she says kind of counts.
What's that? Oh yeah, what she says counts.
She's one of the reasons why I'm still hesitant about starting the masters. I'm scared.
Yeah, she's just a delightful person to spend time with, but you might not get that idea from a distance. She's very sure about how things ought to be, and when you take the program, you have to do it exactly the way they specify that it is to be done, even if you've never done it that way and will never do it that way again. In order to pass the program, you have to do it the way they're saying is the right way to do it.
I hear my late father, my way or the highway.
Yes. But for somebody who doesn't have a clue what they're doing, who's self-taught, like I was when I started the program, it's like Oh, I'm just thrilled to learn what somebody says is the right way to do it. And then after I knew that, I could decide, oh, I think I can see a better way to do this.
Just don't submit that way.
No. I'm knitting a baby sweater to as a proof of concept for my next design. And I'll show you that. This, but after that really complicated cabling system, I'm doing something really simple. And here's what I have so far. It's just a baby sweater, but it's helix knitting using 4 different threads. So it's a repeat of 4 rows as it goes down. And that's just going to be across the shoulders and the chest, like this sweater is here, actually, except it's not going to be a saddle shoulder. And it's not going to be these colors. These were colors I chose from the stash just because they were the right size yarn. I just am proving that I can do this and that the sweater will turn out okay using helix knitting. So it will be much prettier colors than that, I'm sure.
It looks very nice. I actually like the colors.
You like these colors?
Yes.
Well, they wouldn't be bad for a child, I think, but I don't know any adult.
It's just gray and black and white, right?
No, it's actually yellow, dark blue, and light blue. Those are blues.
Oh, well, they look very nice together. And they look gray on my screen for some
I
reason.
see. Yeah, they look grayer in real life than they are. I mean, they look grayer than they are in real life. They're more blue.
So Frank, where's your beginning of round on your helix?
There are 4 different strands, so there are 4 different beginnings of round.
But
And
where did you first start?
I first started when I got, I picked up all the stitches along the sleeve cap on both sides. And so I was still using the original color blue. Then when I got to the beginning of round marker, which is the right front shoulder on a crew neck, I then started the first yarn, which was this yellow one. The yellow one goes all the way across, and then I guess it continued around. And then once I got to the back shoulder marker, I started, no, that's not right. Oh, I switched as I crossed the sleeve cap. I really don't know what I did now that I'm looking at it. Well, anyway, I can tell that I started the dark blue on the back shoulder, you know, right where the sleeve cap connects to the back. And so the top row across the back is dark blue, whereas the top row across the front is yellow. And somehow I got a blue row in between them, and I can't figure out where that started. Anyway, I did find by my experiments that it works best if you change colors at the point of the seam when you're starting or ending. I discovered that when I ended this one. See, these are the kinds of things I learned by just experimenting. I knew that I wanted to make sure that the start of each color was pretty unnoticeable. And so I thought putting them on that seam, that quote seam, was a good place. Then when I ended the blue, I ended it short by mistake. And I should have, see, the blue just stops there and it's going to show. I don't really care. This is, you know, this is a throwaway. This is like a swatch, just to practice. So now I know to continue that blue, or whatever color I have, to continue it all the way over to where the underarm starts. And then it'll be less noticeable because it'll be underarm.
Great, that's helpful. Thank you.
So it's only a couple of stitches off from the underarm there. Almost, huh?
Yeah, I was just, if I understood right, I was just off by 6 stitches. I should have carried
that
6 stitches
okay, I
farther.
thought it was a couple. Yeah. Nobody will ever notice.
Nope. Well, it won't be like that when I actually do the real sweater. I now know not to do that. So the sleeves, I plan to do the sleeves the same as the body. That's just going to be blue all the way down. And so the sleeves will also be blue from this point down. So it's just going to be this band across the top of the sweater, this helix.
Very
Unless I
nice.
decide to do something around the waist. I don't know, haven't decided that.
Less is more.
I think that looks awesome because, you know, I wouldn't see any other way to make a helix sweater that would look good unless it's like a regular yoke sweater. And I don't really care for those very much. So you did great.
Oh, good. Yeah, today was the first day I could actually put it down and look at it and say, well, how is this coming? And when I did, I thought, this is really working. I really like it. I'm gonna do this. I wasn't sure until today that I would actually do this sweater.
Yeah. That's where art comes into.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to use some of Ron Warren's yarn. He's also a dyer. He's the, you know, he ran the knit along that we held in May and June. And he also is the owner of a yarn store in Bakersfield, but he also is a dyer, and it's called Threadbare Dye Works, I think. And he sent me a skein of his yarn. I absolutely love how it feels, and the colors are interesting. And so I think I can choose some nice colors that will do something nice together.
What is his yarn content?
I think it varies. The one I was looking at is, let me see.
He dyes a lot of wool.
His, the one called Quantum Decay is a blend of superwash merino and nylon. 85% merino and 15% nylon. That's the one I'm going to use. He has another one called Semi-Precious that is 95% merino and 5% stellina. I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's got little sparkles in it, I think. That must be the stellina. Here I am looking at this, and I could be sharing it with you all.
The name of his yarn shop again, please.
The yarn shop is thetwistedskein.com. But this yarn that he is showing here is on Threadbare Dye Works. THREAD. Here, I'll put it in the chat. have to stop sharing to see the chat, apparently.
Do you have a sweater in mind for that particular yarn?
Yes, it's the one that I'm working design on now.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, this is just yarn from my stash that is not the colors, nothing like the colors I'll actually use.
But isn't that yarn that you showed on the screen multicolored?
Oh, I'm not using that one either.
Oh,
wait,
okay.
wait, there is one that I showed that it's slightly multicolored and I will be using it. Let me go back to it. You're not still seeing the screen, are you? No, I
No.
stopped sharing. I'll share it again. Yes, so this one has these speckles in it. See that? But that's not the one I'm going to use. I'm going to use this quantum decay.
Okay.
So it has some variation of color, but not a lot.
Well, I was thinking with that vivid one, your helix knitting would be thrown off, wouldn't it?
I don't know. I just don't want sparkles in a sweater.
Right. Exactly. I understand that. Oh, that's pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
I like the brown tones.
And this is natural. And here he has a rich plum. Like these colors. This and this and that. Also like this
Right.
color and that color. I think it's going to be variations of browns.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
It's a very nice feeling yarn. I love that combination, merino and nylon. It's I don't know, it's just nice. It reminds me of the yarn I got from Hedgehog Fibers. And I don't know if it was the same fiber mix or not, but something about them, they're not real fuzzy, and yet they're just good to work with. I just enjoy it. Well, it looks like it's that time again, 3:30. So I guess we will say goodbye.
Thank you, Frank, very much.
And
Thank you, and I'll be
all.
sending you an email.
Really nice to see you all.
Thank you, Frank.
Goodbye, all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.